What is this, by the way?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another gaming podcast. This is Jamie along with,
Mega Man Dust.
and today we're doing a how should I call it, escape podcast on
Monsters Inc.
Monsters Inc. Yes, actually, I was interested in that little tidbit before the movie. Yeah, but anyway, beyond the coordinates, we're doing a podcast on Rogue One. We just came fresh out of the movies from earlier today. And here, my friend watched it for the first time. Me, my second time watching this awesome movie, Rogue One. I'm gonna warn you, spoilers galore. Spoilers all throughout the podcast. Nothing but spoilers. Okay, so give me your impressions, man.
I liked it. 9 out of 10.
9 out
I
of
would
10.
say, yeah, it was really good.
Uh-huh.
I wasn't quite sure what I was expecting. I heard war movie, so I got that. I'll say at first, the weirdest thing, no Star Wars crawl. That was
Yes.
so unsettling, and the music wasn't normal.
Mhm.
It was a different. The heck, dog.
Oh,
so that
God.
was a little unsettling at first, but
Like the dog.
yeah,
it was
exactly.
unsettling.
That
Yeah.
was really unsettling. But then, it picked up its pace as you kind of get into it, and it's probably one of my favorite Star Wars movies. Like right now, I loved it much more than Force Awakens. And I loved the Force Awakens.
Yeah, I gotta agree though. But I gotta agree though. Yeah, the I know we're full of puns today. The lack of Star Wars, the initial crawl, at least for me in the beginning, it made it feel like it wasn't a Star Wars film in the beginning.
Yeah.
It felt missing. For the first 10-15 minutes, even when they show the Rogue One screen title, it felt like a corny video game type of thing. The soundtrack that they used for that particular frame,
And I
it
know
felt
why.
corny.
Because this movie is the crawl from A New Hope.
Yeah, that's
So
what
that's
it
what
is.
it is.
Yeah.
Like, yep, let's make that in a movie.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, it didn't feel like a Star Wars movie at first. The first 10-15 minutes, it felt out of place. But then once they start introducing, we start seeing like cameos from different characters of mainly A New Hope. Start picking up. You see the stormtroopers. Like, okay, this is Star Wars film. You see the uniforms, and then it just started feeling good. And then, like I said, different cameos is like then the geek out of me started coming out. It's like, oh my gosh, it's like there's this guy. Oh my gosh, there's that guy.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Biggest geek out moment, and probably it was the cherry on top for the film for me, and I was not expecting this. I'm just diving right in. That end at last 10 minutes, and with Leia, I was like, it doesn't even look like CGI. That is awesome. Like, what did they do? Throw her in like the Lazarus pit, bring her back?
I know, probably in a Bacta bath, rejuvenate her, and yeah, it was amazing.
To counter that, I was surprised Tarkin was in it, and at first scared when I saw him because it didn't. I'm gonna say it didn't look good, but it didn't look quite right. But there were some later scenes where I was like, either I gotten used to it or it just looked better.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this looks like Peter Cushing now, so I'm okay with that. But that first was like this was rubbery CGI face, and
Yeah.
I was kind of sad.
Yeah, that one was kind of hard, especially because we watched A New Hope yesterday. It was yesterday. We watched A New Hope, and that memory of the original actor, I think Peter Cushing or
Peter
something.
Cushing,
Yeah, the original actor, the late Peter Cushing. It was vivid in your mind. But when I saw it on Friday, I hadn't seen A New Hope in about a year or so, and you just felt like, holy cow! When I heard his voice, obviously I knew it was somebody else, voice actor, and I was like, and then you see the reflection. I thought they were just gonna just play off the mind game like that, because they couldn't obviously put the actual actor there.
Yeah.
But then when they revealed it, at least for me, because again I haven't seen A New Hope in over a year, it felt like, holy crap, that is freaking Moff Tarkin. It's like, dude, it's like, and yeah, it felt video game-ish, it wasn't the good quality, but it was still nevertheless amazing. It was an amazing technical accomplishment, which actually felt more natural than what they did with in Tron a few years back, and Tron Legacy.
No, yeah.
What they did with Bridges, and it's Bridges, right? Yeah, I think
Bridges, right?
yeah, Jeff Bridges, yeah, because that was the first time they had ever attempted to do that with an actual actor, and it felt rather. That one it did feel very robotic.
Yeah, it was new. It was kind of janky
new.
still.
And it still looked good, you know. But this one, it was more natural. Again, the technology has advanced, but it did feel rather.
Just getting better. It's scary.
It is getting better. But she was amazing. Yeah, it was really amazing. And like I said, with Princess Leia, the whole thing and just showing her. I mean, even the second time that I watched it today, just seeing her turn around, you see her face. That one looks so realistic. And then when she said, when she says hope, I mean, I was just like, I got chills all over again. It was just like geeking out right there. All over. Other cameos, the bounty hunter couple from the
from the
two
cantina,
buddies, from the cantina, yeah.
That was the first, I think, Easter egg. I guess you call it Easter egg. They actually noticed, and I didn't expect to see those guys. And I was like, "Whoa, it's those guys! You're gonna lose an arm!"
Yeah, it's like what he says, like "watch it" or something like that. It gives his iconic line there. Also, so I don't know if you caught that they had a Imperial probe droid. Also in Jeddah, in the city of Jeddah, they had a probe droid in the background.
Oh, okay.
And then I don't know if you saw there's another. I think it's called the RA-7 something. The one of the droids that looks like a bug, that has the face of a bug.
Oh yeah. I saw
that one they had there too. And obviously the little mouse droid, going around. But yeah, it's pretty cool seeing all this different, how they incorporate all the cameos and characters mainly from I was gonna say episode 1, episode 4 from A New Hope, and this one, and really felt it felt more a Star Wars movie, and felt more as a part of the whole saga than the prequels.
Absolutely. And I was going to say, I mean, it may sound like we listed off a lot of Easter eggs. It might be a lot, but for the most part, they felt done well. And obviously, it's fan service, because as fans, we want to see it. It's really cool.
Of course.
Nothing really felt shoehorned. And I don't know, it was all kind of good to see. And I was surprised at the closeness of the movie's timeline to where it fits in this saga.
Yeah, right before the...
Right before.
Right, I mean, totally right before. I mean...
It's like, if there's no DVD skip, you go right into the next one.
Which means, carrying on to that, we can talk about a couple possible plot holes that, all movies have. That's the inherited issue with having prequels. That it's always going to be, issues with continuity and stuff. I think, to me, my biggest one is, I have two main plot holes. One... in episode 4, that Moff Tarkin is talking to Leia and threatening her about if she doesn't tell her the location of the rebel base, that they're gonna, they're gonna demonstrate, the inaugural demonstration of the Death Star on Alderaan. Well, this wasn't really the inaugural demonstration, because now with this movie, the Death Star has been used twice on cities and bases.
That wasn't a plot hole to me, and it was more just of political speech for him. Like they were firing off one battery, right? They built this thing to destroy planets. What they did was scary, but they had Star Destroyers to do that. That's what a Star Destroyer was for. I mean, it was. One thing that pisses me off is seeing Star Destroyers in planetary space. They're supposed to be built out in space. They're supposed to be... that didn't fit with lore to me. I don't know where the E went with that. But they're star cruisers. They're not meant
they're
to
not
gigantic
they're not planetary. Yeah, they're not atmosphere vehicles.
Yeah.
That's excuse me. I don't know if that's a plot hole, more like a technical discrepancy. Because I totally agree with you. I never really liked in the video games how they would have the Star Destroyers in the atmosphere. And the same thing goes now. The movie is starting to implement some of those elements from the novels and the video games, and having the Star Destroyers right there. Another thing that I didn't like in regards, and it's not a plot hole per se. More, it could be a plot hole. It could be a technical issue, whatever you want to call it. When the Leia's blockade runner at the end, when he takes off, he goes into hyperspace. So we're always being told in Star Wars movies that to go to hyperspace, you need to have your course planned, or at least for a course. Now she is racing in episode 4. She was racing towards Alderaan to get the plans over there.
Mm-hmm.
And also, we've been told many times in the Star Wars universe that once you are into hyperspace, you are free from danger, because they can't catch you in hyperspace. So why if she goes into hyperspace, or the blockade runner goes into hyperspace after the attack, trying to escaping from Vader? Why did they come out of hyperspace around Tatooine instead of just going all the way to Alderaan? That's a very big plot hole that is being left unanswered and just creates more issues than anything else. If they had done something like, for instance, just one minor detail would change that. Like when they're ready to go into hyperspace, if the Vader's ship or a TIE fighter hits the blockade runner right before they jump, and as it hits it, they jump, like maybe saying that they cause damage to the hyperdrive, and that forces them to get out of hyperspace later in Tatooine or something like that. Just that one little detail to force them out of hyperspace, it would have been better. It would have covered that plot hole, other than that just boom, take off like nothing, and then you jump into episode 4 and they're being chased out of hyperspace. Like, why do you get out of hyperspace in the first place? I mean,
Yeah.
Also, now one thing that I thought it was, like we were talking about yesterday, another inherent flaw of having prequels that are 40 years apart. When we see Vader in A New Hope, at least in the original cut, because I show you the Star Wars Revisited, and that one the guy fixes a lot. Makes the lightsaber battle feels more active. Instead of so lethargic like originally. So we'll go with the original one. It's very 40 years ago, so it was the stunt is very, very slow. I mean, they're using real actors that are old and stuff like that. So it's not like today that they use body doubles and stuff like that. So it doesn't watching Vader kick major ass at the end of this movie, and then when you see him like maybe a day or two when he catches up, or maybe just hours after he catches up to the we'll assume a couple of days, because went into hyperspace, and by the time they figure out where they're going and everything, he seems a little weaker. He lets the stormtroopers go in first, and he comes in later. Instead of using a force thing, he just like literally holding the guy up, picking up the guy. But again, those are technical issues of 40 years ago, because there was no CGI.
So you're saying is they should just remake?
No, what I'm saying is that that's the inherent issue that nowadays he looks badass, and back then then if you jump straight to episode 4, it's kind of like that's not the same Vader that he was kicking ass a couple days ago. One I read online, I know there's already fan theories coming out, and remember in the part of the movie when what's his name, the director, what his name is, arrives to the planet where Vader is, and then Vader is in totally
the Bacta tank,
in the Bacta tank without any of the prosthetics, any of the suit or nothing. So Bacta tanks are meant to basically heal the body, So I'm thinking adding that detail was awesome, because then that kind of solves that plot hole, if you want to call it, issue. You could say that because the way that the end of episode 3, how he's just all burned and everything in his body is, he is basically clinging to dear life. I think thanks to the Force, the fact that he's the strongest with the Force allows him to stay alive. The Bacta tank, I think he has to go through this Bacta tank therapy every so often for his organic part to stay alive, to be cured, because the suit is not enough to keep him alive. Just keeps him alive for a few days, then he has to go into the Bacta tank every so often. If you see him in Empire, maybe by then the technology is different. In the lore of the Star Wars universe, he is inside this chamber in the execution and executor.
Yeah.
He has a special chamber that he goes in there so often, takes his helmet off, and he's in that chamber. So I'm sure that chamber is kind of maybe a Bacta-based chamber that helps him also regenerate while he's
like
out of the way.
aromatherapy.
Yeah.
Missed it.
And that would explain how he's so badass kicking butt, And then by the time he catches up to Leia, he's not the same strength, because he's wearing down. you know, in his strength, his physical strength, you know. So that's a really good detail they added by having him in that Bacta tank in the middle of the movie, because that, you know, in from a fan theory perspective, that kind of fills
That would make
gap.
sense, especially if that base on Mustafar, like his home base, is back to tanks there. They didn't show him on the exec. I don't forget, like in the lore, when he gets the executor, if that's after this star blows up or not, or before. But you don't see him on that, so I figured that would be decked out with special things he needs to survive.
Yeah, yeah. And the executor is from Empire Strikes Back, and you know that's the iconic scene that Captain or Admiral
Piet.
Admiral Piet arrives and to give him inform him, and you see the helmet going down, and then you know, dismiss him all pissed off, and then the chamber just closes, you know. So that could be you know, that could be a Bacta chamber, you know, for all, you know. So. Anyway, any closing comments, man?
Not right now. I mean, I called it. They all died.
Yeah.
I was watching some stuff because we just finished it a couple hours ago, so I'm still kind of mulling it over, and everything kind of went down kind of how I expected it to. I was hoping that one dude, Ip Man, was going to be a Jedi. Like he had the stick, and I was like, that looks like a lightsaber stick at the end. I was like, he's going to ignite it, and he's going to give me like a lightsaber like staff or something. That'd be pretty badass.
I think he was at least what's it called, force sensitive.
No, I'm sure.
Force,
Yeah,
you know,
definitely
because you know, he every time he would focus, he could do stuff. You know, he could tell the future. He could, you know, read feelings and everything. You know, but you know, and yeah, he was blind too. You know, so you know, I mean, I think he was with the Force. Well, maybe he used to be a Jedi and just veered off and just, you know.
Well, because he was one of the members, I forget what they call them, but there's people who serve at the temple.
Yeah, protect
and
the temple,
so those kyber crystals, what they put it in the lightsabers for the power on. So, I mean, if he was, my guess was he was not a Jedi, but he was some type of a disciple, a servant around this temple. Because this maybe some type of, because it seemed like there's like a religious kind of fervor around certain people about the Force that wasn't necessarily always shared by the Jedi that at least we've been seeing in the movies. It's like there's a Force religion, and there's Jedi who are more mystical, and then there's whatever the Force really is.
Yeah.
But I liked it. It was good, and I'm happy that everyone died, that we don't have to see him brought back. I am sad the droid died, because the droid was badass.
Yeah,
I
the
forget
droid
his
was
name.
badass, yes.
Like, I'd watch a movie about him.
Yeah, I know, right? How he gets reprogrammed.
Exactly.
Yeah, I really loved it. I mean, to me, it's up there in. It felt more of a Star Wars movie than the prequels did, and the whole thing with the credits is because Disney, the president, the lady that is in charge of LucasArts, she said that they decided to go without the opening crawl because they want to keep the main saga, as you know, on its own. And the side story is just like plug-ins, but no power. You know.
I don't think that's justification for it. I think it should have had a scroll.
Yeah. Oh, I believe
that said, I mean, I'm not missing it now. I don't think that holds water to me.
Yeah. No. If I could have the technical savvy for this, I would make my own crawl and just put one in, you know, for my own purposes.
I mean, that says Star Wars. It doesn't tell me that, because this is the first non-sequential movie we've had of Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
So it's just really as a first in an account. I mean, they're obviously it's their movie. They totally do whatever they want. Well, it isn't like, because there's never been any before that had or didn't have it. It wasn't confusing to me. I didn't see that scroll. I'm like, oh no, this is not Star Wars. I mean, it was definitely obviously Star Wars.
Yeah.
And it'd be obviously more Star Wars if it had the the scroll at the front.
Yeah. But yeah, highly recommend it too. Like you said, 9 out of 10 easily. You know, no doubt. And I'm gonna go watch it again as soon as I can.
What would make it a 10? I was thinking that. What would make it a 10?
The crawl. I mean, the crawl in the beginning. And the soundtrack being a little bit more towards it in key parts.
I want more aliens, to be honest. I was a little sad of how this is. We're a rebellion. We're fighting against this evil, this empire, and all empire's all about humans. All I see is humans all around. Yeah. I was happy to have a Mon Calamari general or whoever was flying that ship. Oh, that was pretty badass. But where are the rest? The freaking aliens.
Yeah, species, yeah.
Like that little dude was awesome with the gun. And
that was
what
funny,
the hell his name was. Just sitting there behind this little fence.
Yeah, that was too fun too.
I was happy to see the Empire being ruthless. But throughout the movie, and I'll end with this because I agree with everything you said about the movie. It just pissed me off. Like, why the hell are these stormtroopers wearing armor? Just once. I want to see people get shot and be like, "Oh, thank God I have armor on."
Exactly.
Like,
right.
why? You may as well be in there naked. Your chances are just as
I
good.
know
Of
there was a
surviving.
couple instances like actually you're right because like when you see the director in the beginning of the movie, he gets shot in the shoulder. He's fine, you know. He's just like, oh, I'm hurt. One of the rebels when they're doing the raid on the planet, boom, he gets hurt in the shoulder. He was fine, just going to in hiding. You see stormtroopers, poof, oh, I'm dead. Poof, oh, I'm dead. It's like,
That's the thing,
you
like-
have armor on. What the
like,
heck?
With she's hitting the guys in their helmet. The
Oh yes.
Johnny Yen's character guy has a stick, and these guys are wearing armor. At best, from what I remember in the comics, they're not supposed to be able to take a blaster blast head on. But at any type of range, it's supposed to deflect and absorb. That's the whole point.
Of
Or
the
else
armor.
they may as well be clownsmen wearing sheets for the same effect of scaring people.
Yeah, when he kicks the dirt off, you know, with the stick and you know, kind of mess up the stormtrooper. You know, it's like, wait, the stormtrooper has full armor, is designed to protect him. What's a little bit of dirt to the to the helmet's face is gonna do to him? It's like, yeah.
Blind him a little bit since he can't
Yeah.
see the visor, but that's about it.
These guys are trained killers, though. These are stormtroopers. I want to see a movie though where they're actually a formidable enemy, not just go, oh shit, we got 20 of them to kill. Let's just take one guy. It should be fine.
Yeah. Well, you know, you can make the argument that because the Empire has always been in control, they're not really battle hardened as the Empire likes you to believe. It's just a scare tactic, you know.
Oh no,
based on the
and that
Force.
I get because it's
But but like you say, it would be nice, yeah, to actually like in Attack of the Clones. That was badass when they go and kick ass right there in Attack of the Clones. You know, of course, they were battle hardened and you know they were trained for that. But yeah, it's kind of nice to see them. It would be nice to see them just go in there and.
well, you had what's his name, the guys in the white, his elite badasses in black to look pretty cool. They're just falling down. Like, these guys are supposed to. They're guarding an elite member of the Imperial Army right here. These should be some pretty badasses, may able to take a blaster bolt. Nope, they fall down just like everybody else.
Yeah.
It was also like
I'm sad.
that. Remember how like
Mainly because I want stormtrooper armor, and I like to be that.
Yeah, exactly.
when she accidentally shot the robot, but it wasn't actually him. It was just like the thing like that. He got down on one hit. The other guy.
The other guy took like 30 hits, you know.
One after another.
Well, you know, that's what happens when you're part of the rebellion. I mean, you develop this like 20 XP, extra XP, you know, and
Let's say it has video game logic. Because,
Yeah, it does have video game
stormtroopers,
logic, yeah.
All the armor, but they only have one hit point.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
higher up you go, the more hit points you get, apparently.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so we're really going on a tangent here now, but anyway, really good movie, really recommend it. Obviously, it has his little flaws, but nothing that can be.
I'm looking forward to Rogue 2.
Yeah, Rogue 2, yes.
The sequel. They come back from the dead.
No, I'm looking forward to the Han Solo film and with Lando, young Han Solo and Lando Calrissian and see their dynamics.
I'm actually not looking forward to a Han Solo film. If they did a film focused around Lando Calrissian, who, if you haven't read any of the books, you know nothing about him except for what you see him on in the movies. That would be interesting. To me, that's like. No, this is not really a good example because Young Indy actually was
You
pretty
know,
good.
that's subject for another podcast. In the meantime,
It really
it was
is.
Jimmy along with.
Mega Man Dust.
Please hit that
but
share, likes, and subscribe
Young
buttons,
Solo
and
does
don't
nothing
forget to
add
subscribe.
to the.
Until next time, we are
No,
signing
we're
off.
not. We're rolling on this, man. You got me started.
We'll go on to that in the next chapter. How about that?
I miss the snowy wildlands so much.